Time code, 1 hour, 19 seconds. Finally, an hour has passed. Lick your lips, blow yourself a kiss, and get on with it. 1 hour, 1 minute, and 14 seconds. Do I really have to sit here for another 2 hours? What an insane idea this was. 1 hour, 2 minutes, 38 seconds. Ooh, nice frown, scary. As I get older, my expressions seem to have gotten more exaggerated and severe. Obviously, I'm not always aware of what my face is doing, but I suspect its habitual expression these days is a frown or a scowl. When I'm on book tour, I get photographed a lot, and while I do my best not to look at pictures and videos afterwards, I can't help noticing that I'm often caught with a really frightening expression on my face. Expressions that look like disdain or disapproval or contempt, when I'm probably just thinking about what I want to eat for dinner. Old people look scary. I don't want to look scary. I don't want others to feel despised or scorned. Maybe I should try to cultivate a milder countenance, practice mindfulness of the face, be inscrutable, mask-like, and oriental, cultivate an enigmatic smile. I can see why people get Botox. Masks. When I was young, my half-Japanese face signified a self that was at odds with who I felt myself to be. My face was a surface onto which people, especially men, projected their ideas of race and sexuality. Asianness and femininity, ideas that had little or nothing to do with me. I grew up wearing a mask on my face that I didn't know was there, but over the years, of course, that mask shaped me. I turned 14 in 1970. The image of Asian girls as exotic, ageless child sex objects was still very much a part of the post-World War II, post-Korean War, post-Vietnam War culture in America. These Asian wars had created a persistent sexual stereotype. Asian girls were other, and men who might have refrained from having sex with a 14-year-old white girl who looked like their sister or daughter felt less inhibition with me. During my teenage years, I had several relationships with these older men who often held positions of power and authority and were supposed to be responsible for my well-being. These relationships never felt real because the I who was having them never felt real. That I desperately wanted to be different from me. That I allowed things to happen because that's what was expected of her. That I was the mask, and she was having the relationships. The iconic Japanese no mask, called ko-omote, depicts a young girl of about 14 or 15. She has a round white face, full cheeks, and lustrous white skin that is almost pearlescent. Her hair is parted demurely in the center, and the lines of her eyes are graceful and long, slanting up just slightly at the outer corners. Her mouth is small, and her plump, bow-shaped lips are parted in an enigmatic smile so that her blackened teeth peek out seductively. In Japan, for centuries, it was customary for women to blacken their teeth and to pluck out their eyebrows and paint them on again about an inch or so above the natural brow line. The ko-omote's wide eyebrows look like a pair of inky thumbprints set high on her forehead, just below her hairline. They slope slightly down at the edges, which give her a look that is bemused, quizzical, and gently expectant, like she's waiting for you to do something delightful, but would be equally happy if you did something foolish. We think of masks as being expressionless, but what's marvelous about the ko-omote is the subtle range of emotion she can convey. Her face, which is slightly asymmetrical, exhibits an ideal called chukan hyojo, which means an ambiguous expression, neutral beauty, or versatile vagueness. By slightly raising or dipping his chin, tilting his head, or favoring one side, a skilled actor, and by tradition, professional no actors are male, can express feelings of joy or grief or anger or uncertainty. In the absence of the actor's face, the mask becomes a medium for emotion. After I graduated from college, I went to Japan to do graduate work in classical Japanese literature. I had studied Shakespeare as an undergraduate, and my idea was now to read Zeami, the 14th century Japanese playwright of the No theater. Since the performance of No was so foreign to me, I decided to take lessons in No chanting and dance in Kyoto with Udaka Michishige, a living national treasure. He was one of the first actors to welcome foreigners to study along with his Japanese students, and the only No actor who is also a master carver of masks. These lessons were my first encounter with the Zen arts, and even though Udaka-sensei didn't speak explicitly about Zen, its spirit infused the dojo and our practice. No is a meditation of sound and movement. The ritualistic elements of performance, the slow, sonorous chanting, hypnotic dance, music and drums, work to animate the mask, which comes to life in a moment of sublime beauty called yugen. In his book, The Secrets of No Masks, Udaka writes about yugen. It refers, I suppose, to a sort of mysterious, unfathomable aesthetic quality, but even that is uncertain. No matter how much you rehearse, it remains elusive, slipping constantly from your grasp. It is a complex sensation, impossible to describe exactly, complex, but oh, with such lingering sweetness. The first mask I made in Udaka-sensei's class was a ko-omote, a challenging mask because of the enigmatic complexities of her expression, which must convey both her naive innocence as well as a hint of the unforgiving sharpness of her youthful character. Udaka writes, "The section from the eyelids to the bridge of the nose must be especially plain and devoid of affectation, requiring the mask maker to rid his mind of worldly thoughts." No easy task. No masks are carved from a type of Japanese cypress called hinoki. The best wood comes from trees that are over 250 years old, which, after felling, are cured for another 40 or 50 years, resulting in a block of wood that will not bend or crack. The mask is buried in the block of wood, and it's the carver's job to release it. First, the shape of its face is roughed out with a mallet and chisel, and then, with the aid of a series of cardboard templates, the carver slowly refines the features using a variety of smaller chisels, knives, and sandpaper. The inside of the mask is as important as the outside, since the shape of the interior affects the resonance and projection of the actor's voice. The mask thus functions as a musical instrument, merging with and enhancing the actor's chanting. And I think I should probably stop there. Okay, thank you very much.